All right. Hey, guess who's back? The Fantasy Football Avengers. We're in the building one more time. We're gonna go over. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to go over that Thursday night game. Unfortunately, um, but we're gonna hit you with the starts and sits. We got some Q&A. We're gonna call our shot. Garfield's gonna give us his kicker of the week. We're gonna give you some sleepers, and then we're gonna get you all ready for Sunday's games. But before we get anything going, we got to get this party started, and there's only one way to do that. Drop the intro.
You're now about to witness the strength of fantasy football knowledge.
Welcome to the Fantasy Football Avengers podcast, starring Kyle Shanahan's, Boulevard, GQ, and GI16. And now, here's the boys.
Ew. Welcome back. Fantasy Football Adventures here. And we are going to get this party started. On a down note, the Thursday night football game that we all had to sludge through. We knew going into this game, this was going to be ugly. Bubba Sparks ugly. We knew this was going to be ugly because there's too many injuries on the Saints. Your number one and number two receiver both hurt. Your quarterback is hurt. Your linemen are hurt. So, yeah, the Saints just really walked into an ass whooping. And we kind of knew this was going to happen. But the crazy thing about it is nobody outside of Javonte Williams really looked good for fantasy football. I did say that somebody was going to be a 20-point scorer, but I did not know it was going to be Javonte.
How could you know who was going to come out of this one? How could you possibly know?
Right. Oh, yeah, and the Broncos defense, I think they scored 20 points in a lot of leagues.
Good, yeah.
Yeah. You really couldn't know, but you just knew that 20-point score wasn't going to be on the Saints.
Yeah.
Spencer Rattler does not look like a starting quarterback in the NFL.
No, not yet. He's a late rounder.
Yeah.
And he's still a rookie. Yeah, we can't call this a finished product. That's not even fair. He's got a lot of work ahead of him.
He does.
Let's just say, for his sake, at least he had a positive completion percentage.
But
even if it was just dinking and dunking.
If you picked him up thinking that, he was going to take Carr's spot, put him right back.
Like we told you he would.
Put him back. He's not taking Carr's spot. When Carr comes back,
I'm on record as saying he was going to take Bo's spot. Jury's not out yet. Jake Hayner's starting this week, ain't he?
Probably. But when Carr's ready, it's still Carr's spot. Carr's spot.
That's who's hitting the money.
But we did get some sad news for fantasy football. Rashid Shaheed done for the season.
Sad news for me.
Done for the season. I had Rashid in a lot of leagues. Those weeks that he was having really made a difference. Those games that he played, but at least he went out. When he went out, he went out in a game where he returned the kick. So he didn't leave us nothing when he went out last week. We at least got 10 points out of that. But I'm gonna miss Rashid Shaheed until next year.
We all gonna miss Rashid Shaheed. Damn.
I just know.
I was singing his praises all preseason for fantasy purposes.
I just know you're probably not going to be a late round pick next year. Everybody's hip to you now.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. But speedy recovery, Shaheed. Speedy
Mm.
recovery.
Yeah, same to Hutch, Aiden Hutchinson. That was nasty. What happened to him? But we're
Yeah,
not talking about that game yet.
yeah. I really don't think we have much. Bo Nix is looking decent at best.
Mm.
Decent. Callan Coward.
Knicks didn't look that much better per se than Rattler did.
Yeah, Callan Coward is way off the mark, saying
There's a
that
shot.
Bo Nix is better than Brock Purdy. Way off the mark. I
Yeah, but
get it.
he's known to
I
say dumb shit like that, just being
I
absurd for likes.
I get it that a 49ers quarterback broke your daughter's heart. I get that. But it wasn't this 49ers quarterback that broke your daughter's heart. That 49ers quarterback that broke your daughter's heart is now in Dallas. So you can take all your hate and vitriol and take it to Dallas. They're used to it. Like they're
Wait,
used
what's this story?
to he was Colin Coward was really big on Trey Lance coming out. Come to find out that Trey Lance was dating his daughter.
Huh.
It
Oh,
did
he's not
once
biased.
once something happened between Trey Lance and Colin Coward's daughter, um, he's the hate for Trey Lance started with him.
Hmm.
Like
Oh,
he
he
just
mid
started,
as hell anyway.
yeah, he just started ripping into Trey Lance and how Trey Lance isn't that good and all this
Hmm.
other stuff. And
Oh, he a full
that,
blown clown.
yeah, and now the hate for Trey Lance has seeped onto Brock Purdy.
Hmm. Well, he a
But
clown anyway.
but Bo Nix is not a better quarterback than Brock Purdy.
I think the records would kind of prove that point
Yeah,
against every statistical category. So
I
I can see how you can even make that take with a straight face.
I'm pretty sure he probably said that Will Levis was better than Brock Purdy. We've seen how that worked out. Like having a big arm, being 6'5", 6'6", 6'4", 6'6", and having a big arm does not make you better than Brock Purdy.
No.
Does not make you better than Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy is an elite processor on the field. Give me an elite processor over a big arm and a tall guy any day.
Mm-hmm.
Any day. Any day. Because Will Levis is garbage. And I'm not going to say that Bo Nix is garbage because at least his team is winning, but Bo Nix is average at best. Now, can Bo Nix get better? Sure, he can. He can definitely get better. I don't think Will Levis can get better. I think what we see from Will Levis is what we see. Like I feel like Will Levis is approaching Blake Bortles category.
No, he hasn't had that many games to waste. He's still good. I mean, he's got time.
You think Will Levis got time to get better?
Yeah, how many games has he started? Just this season, right? Maybe a couple last year. No.
Yeah, but from what I've seen, it all just seems bad.
Yeah. But
It all
we've
just
seen
seems
that
bad.
before where it's gotten a lot better.
And
From any quarterback,
and he has weapons. So it'd be something different if it was bad and he didn't have weapons. Then I could say, well, he really ain't got nobody to throw the ball to. But you got a Calvin Ridley, you got a D Hop,
Yeah.
you got weapons. You got weapons.
A solid core.
Yeah, he's definitely got a solid core.
Yeah,
but
I don't know. Maybe it's something in the processing. Maybe it's he doesn't understand it yet. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. I don't know.
It's up here.
It could be.
It's up there. I think I like to say a good chunk of being a good quarterback is up here. It's up here.
I agree.
Like you can have all the tools in the world. You can be the fastest guy on the field. You can have the biggest arm. You can be tall. You can see over the line. But if you ain't got it up here, If it ain't up here, then
Right.
you're not going to make it in the NFL. Unless you relegate yourself to sitting on the sideline and holding a clipboard. Like it's mental. It's mental. It's a lot of it's mental. A lot of it's mental. Like you gotta focus and get out of your head sometimes. So yeah, but let's get to these starts and sits because I don't want to talk no more about that Thursday night game. Hopefully, we get a better one next week.
Let's see, what is that anyway? Do you know what game what is?
I saw an advertisement for it.
The Vikings at the Rams.
Yeah, that should be a good one.
That's better.
That should be a good one.
Yeah.
That should be a good one. Especially if Cooper Kupp is back. Yeah, that should be a good one.
Mm-hmm. So we headed to the next one. Next game?
Yeah.
All right, that's New England at Jacksonville. 9:30 in the morning.
Second. Give me 1 second. 1 second. Because we gotta properly introduce the starts and sits. Nah.
All right.
We gotta do this right. We gotta do this right. Because this is what the people come to see. So let's get into these starts and sits.
Starts and sits of the week.
You over there. You over there. You over there.
Yeah, you over there. You over there. You sit down. You get out there, but you sit down.
You ugly. Your breath stink.
All right. Oh, another London game?
Yep. Featuring the Jaguars of London. Not the Werewolves of London, the Jaguars.
I'm starting to think that the Jaguars are being punished. You stay over in London till y'all win a game.
Not only they're being punished, I think their fans are being punished for their lack of support and loyalty. Like the Jacksonville can go over there and sell out every single damn time. So more merch than they can at home where they've been since the damn 90s.
Could you imagine being a fan of a team? You want to see them play. You live in a city. You want to see them play, but they got half their games in a whole nother country.
Nah, don't Buffalo play a game here or there in Toronto, or is that just preseason?
But if Buffalo plays a game in Toronto, that's not that bad because you can drive. You can drive from Buffalo to Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
That's not that bad. I was in Toronto not that long ago. So Toronto to Buffalo, it's a drive, but it's not that much of a drive. You can make that trip. But from Jacksonville to London, that's a trip for you.
That ain't easy for nobody but Shah Khan.
Right.
He the one who I just hop on my jet and I go.
Right.
My thick ass mustache all the way. Women love you, right?
He looks like somebody that you would fight and punch out on the way to winning a championship.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he looks like.
With the stereotype music and all.
Yes. Every time I look at Tony Khan's pops, I just say, nah, bro, this motherfucker look like the Iron Sheik.
So every time I see Tony Khan, I think this motherfucker need to go to rehab.
Right.
Or they're like,
Tony Khan got the same look every time you see him that Adam Gates had when he was getting interviewed as the same look.
Yes.
It's the same look. Could you imagine? If the Jacksonville Jaguars hired Adam Gates as the head coach, him and Tony Khan?
He's having an intense stare off.
Right. Like that
Sparks, an electric ball just building in the middle of them.
That coke is pure in Jacksonville, boy.
They grow that shit in the swamp.
Unstepped on work.
Mm.
But you said who's playing?
Patriots.
Okay, so Patriots. I feel like we're starting Douglas. If you're in a deeper
what is
league,
the status on Stevenson?
If you're in a deeper 2 QB league and you have a QB on a bye, Drake May is not a bad play.
Yeah, I mean, if you are that desperate, yeah.
Yeah. I feel like you can start. Trevor Lawrence this week. You can start Brian Thomas Jr.
Stevenson will be playing. So yeah, he's in.
I'm a bit iffy. About Christian Kirk. But if you have no other choice, you can start Christian Kirk. ETN is pissing me off. He's pissing me off because at first they said he was out. Then they announced he got a limited practice in, so he may be able to go. I just give Atari Bigsby a shot and see what he has. And if he fails, then you go back to ETN. Just don't play with me with ETN right now. Either be all in with ETN or be all out, so that we as fantasy football managers know what to do.
Go out there assuming that Etienne's not going to be effective if he plays. Play Bigsby.
Yeah. And somebody who drafted ETN high in the first 5-6 rounds, it hurts knowing that I wasted a pick that high.
Right.
And I didn't really jump on Bigsby at that point because I'm still jaded off of Bigsby last year because we thought Bigsby was going to be something last year, and he turned out to be something last year. So I'm jaded. So I'm like, well, fuck Bigsby.
But it's one of your mandates. You draft a handcuff.
Yeah. I didn't secure the handcuff. Well, but because there was really no injury history with ETN. There was really no injury history with ETN. So I didn't really feel like I needed to grab Bigsby because Bigsby really didn't do nothing last year. So, but in all fairness, if you draft a running back high, always take the handcuff because he could end up having a bum year, and a Bucky Irving can come right up under him.
Jordan Mason.
Yeah.
They draft a handcuff right there.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a guessing game what the handcuff actually is because you're not sure about the depth chart. And it can change. It can fluctuate.
With Jordan Mason, I knew what it was. Like, I've watched Jordan Mason play a lot. So I knew for sure. If he got in the game, it was going to be it. That was going to be it. Nobody's going to usurp him. So I already knew what it was.
I mean, they could have wasted the game having Garendo out there.
Yeah.
Not that he did have a solid game when he got in there. He's been solid, but he's not been as effective as Mason has.
No, because Garendo doesn't have the QB vision. I mean, the running back vision that Mason has. Not yet, at least. But if he ever develops some elite running back vision, Garendo is going to be a problem. He's going to be a chain type problem. He's going to be something like that. He's going to be something like that, something like Raheem Mostert. Like what Raheem Mostert used to be for the 49ers. that's kind of what Garendo's going to be, because he's super fast, and if he gets in open space, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. Next game on the docket.
Seattle at Atlanta.
Woo!
Dum, 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 dum.
I'm expecting fireworks to happen in this game.
Oh, yeah. I forgot to say Jacksonville was a 5.5 and over-under was 42. This one, Atlanta by 3, over-under 51. So you're right about the fireworks. That's what they expected.
I'm taking over. I'm taking over. I hope this game turns out to be the Tampa Bay versus Falcons game, where everybody eats for fantasy football. I'm hoping that Kirk Cousins go off. I'm hoping that Kirk Cousins go off. I'm hoping Drake London goes off. I'm hoping that Kyle Pitts gets himself out of bum jail this week. I hope that Mooney continues doing what he's doing. I hope Bijan gets to eat. I hope Algier sits his punk ass on the bench and stop usurping touches from Bijan. We don't like you for fantasy football.
No, I need Algier to work.
No, I don't. Because you drafted Bijan Robinson in the top 5. You drafted Bijan Robinson in the top 5. You don't want Algier to work. The same way you don't want Braylon Allen to work. Like these are guys that you drafted in the
Braylon Allen is a damn thief.
Yes,
He's just a straight up thief. He's stealing the touches.
Yeah, and I don't like that. I don't like that. I want the guy that I drafted in the first round to get the lion's share. Man, feed that dude till he pukes. Feed him till he pukes.
Yes. Atlanta on a 3-game losing streak. Seattle on 3-game winning streak for Atlanta, 3-game losing streak for Seattle.
Yeah. So
gross.
I feel like you could start. If you got him, you start him every week. Gino. You start Gino every week. He's proven that he can go out there and get you numbers for fantasy football. DK Metcalf should go off this week. Like if you haven't been stewing in your juices over the last 10 days from what happened to you on that Thursday night game, and you don't want to come out and prove yourself, then I don't know what to say to you, DK Metcalf, but you need to come out and prove yourself. Because I feel like you can be a dominant force in the NFL, because you got a lot of the traits. Like you got a lot of traits of Megatron and T.O. in you. You should be dominating cats every time you step on the field. I feel like DK should eat. I feel like Walker should eat. I feel like JSN should eat.
And Lockett will get like 4 catches and fall down.
Lockett, yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that about Lockett though. He couldn't play on the 49ers like that though. Nah.
I mean, I guess it's smart. I mean, he ain't really missing but so many yards probably.
Yeah.
Falling down. And he gets to play another play.
We get yak over here, my boy. We get yak over here. Damn that falling down.
You don't know the meaning of the word.
Right.
You say, yeah, you're talking about, yeah, where? Let me get a cup.
Nah, the AJ Green, the AJ, what is it? Is it AJ Green? I think it's AJ Green.
From the Bengals?
Who was the AC Green? Yes.
Oh.
The AC Green of the NFL could not play for the 49ers. And you know why I call
anymore?
You know why I call him the AC Green of the NFL, right?
Because he got feet like Ben Vereen.
No. You look like AC Green. Bitch, don't call here anymore. No. We call him the AC Green of the NFL because They're both virgins.
Why? Why?
I guess he said he's saving himself for marriage. When that came out, my
Jeez.
homeboy immediately wanted to cut him off the team. He was like, I can't have no weirdos on my fantasy football team.
Right, I understand his concerns.
I'm like, fam, you are an NFL player. Why haven't you at this point?
Just get that shit out the way. Grow up.
Right. Stop being a dweeb.
Yeah. Grown ass man. I'm a virgin. What the fuck is wrong?
You're lucky.
Get this man a white coat.
It couldn't have been in my locker room. I'd have been taping condoms to his locker every day.
Right.
And dirty magazines.
Right in his line for a good time call.
He'd have had smut all over his all over his locker every time he go to change. You don't want none of that?
Going there with the 2 fingers.
Right.
You smell that?
Damn weirdo.
Right.
You are in the prime of your life, boy. This is the time where you should be getting all the prom out there.
Right, you just wasting your money.
you being weird.
Go out there buying train sets and shit. Fucking ventriloquist dummies. Full on weirdo.
That boy can't wait for them Tesla robots to be finished.
Right.
I'm still technically a virgin because it was with a robot.
Right.
Weirdo.
Just because it looked like Rosie from the Jetsons doesn't mean anything.
What's the next game on the docket?
I have no idea. Oh, Tennessee at Buffalo. Buffalo by 9. Damn.
They
don't believe in you, Tennessee.
At all. And they shouldn't.
No, they shouldn't.
They shouldn't. Buffalo, this is going to be, I don't want to say last week was a get-right game for Buffalo. I don't want to say that, even though they won. But this is definitely going to be a get-right game for Buffalo. They're going to get back to whipping ass because Tennessee is struggling to do anything. And that Buffalo defense is going to feast. And the Tennessee defense, which we thought was going to make a lot of improvements on it, just doesn't look good at all. This doesn't look good at all. Snead does not look like the same Snead that was in Kansas City last year. The shutdown Snead. He don't look the same. You know who Snead is looking like?
Yeah.
Snead is looking like Nate Davis.
That's low.
Hold up. Is it Nate Davis? Hold on. Because he looked really good. Nate Clements. I said Nate Davis. I got the wrong 49ers Nate. Look, when the 49ers were terrible, and I believe it was Mike Singletary, right around that time, we had a undrafted free agent quarterback that looked really good in preseason named Nate Davis. The problem with Nate Davis was Nate Davis couldn't read. But he could play the hell out of some football. Like Nate was eluding defenders, hitting dudes in stride on the run. Like he was like if you look at some of Nate Davis highlights, you'd be like, why didn't they start him? We had Sean Hill and Alex Smith, and I'm looking at them like, ain't no way in hell you can tell me their film looks better than Nate Davis. It does not. It does not. You know, so, but yeah, Snead is looking real Nate Clemency right now because he's not the same guy that he was with Kansas City, and I'm starting to feel like that the Kansas City D line was all imperative to his success. So I feel like Buffalo is going to do what they do, and Josh Allen is finally going to look like Josh Allen this week.
Yeah, that's high. That's high prediction.
Yeah, like what I prayed for Josh Allen, because I have Josh Allen in quite a few leagues. So what I prayed for Josh Allen came true. They got him a weapon. They got him a weapon. The Josh Allen making or wide receivers, that experiment is over, and I'm glad that they didn't wait a whole year to figure it out, because a lot of these teams they wait a whole year to figure out that their quarterback needs a weapon, and I'm glad that they didn't wait a whole year before they figured out we need to get a weapon for this guy, because it's not, we're winning, but it don't look like it did last year.
My understanding is they made a move because Green Bay made a move.
Yeah, I feel like getting Cooper, I feel like that is going to open up a lot of things for that offense.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Kincaid is probably going to become a thing again. It's going to make things easier for Cook. Yeah, like I feel like just having Cooper on the field, even if Cooper isn't getting the targets, just having him on the field, the defense has to respect Amari Cooper. They have to. They have to. So just having him on the field is going to open up a lot of things. Like, hell, it may even help out Keon Coleman, but it's gonna help a lot of things out. So
yeah, I mean, it should help out every receiver. I mean, it should at least increase their efficiency out there.
Right.
You know, when they're targeted, it should raise their percentages.
Right. So I'm interested in seeing how this all works out.
It'll be less of a focus. I mean, Amari will probably draw most of the attention, and rightfully so. Cook behind him, Dalton tight end behind him. You know, can't really trust any other receiver in Buffalo week to week consistently. So
yeah, I feel like having Cooper on the team, I feel like Buffalo can now compete with the Houston Texans, with the Baltimore Ravens, with the Kansas City Chiefs. Like, they can actually compete now. And when Von Miller comes back from suspension, that's going to be a dangerous team.
Nice. Speaking of dangerous teams, this game does not have one. It's Cincinnati at Cleveland. Cincinnati's a 5.5 point favorite. Over under is 41.5.
How many points?
Over under 41.5.
No. How many points are Cincinnati favored?
5.5, 5.5.
It should be favored more than that, because I don't see nowhere on. Then again, it's a division rivalry game, so those games are always played a little bit different. So yeah, 5.5. Yeah, I can see that. But I feel like Cincinnati is going to beat them way more than that. Because that Cleveland defense is a shell of itself, probably because of injuries. I feel like Joe Burrow is going to get off. Jamar Chase is going to get off, and T. Higgins is going to get off. Chase Brown is probably going to get off. So, yeah, this is going to be a bad day at the office. And if Cleveland doesn't make the switch,
I was about to ask you that. Is this still to be the day?
If they don't make the switch, they're going to be looking for a quarterback next year.
Well, they're definitely going to be looking for a quarterback next year. They're going to be looking for a new coach too.
Yeah.
Well,
and I'm wondering
cutting his ass.
I'm wondering if the orders are coming from above for Stefanski to keep playing Watson.
I've been assuming so.
But my whole thing is, you're losing.
Yeah.
You're losing. Why don't you do what Bill O'Brien did and incorporate some of those Clemson plays into your playbook
This.
for Watson?
This is what I don't understand. Exactly.
Like
If you know it works for them, why don't you do it? Why not do things that make your quarterback a better quarterback?
yes, like
I
why
don't
are you
understand.
purposely losing games
Yes.
and he's stinking on the field when you can do something about that as a coach? Sometimes I be thinking that some of these coaches just be just a little too, with their heads be just a little too far up their ass.
Mm-hmm.
Because
All these
my
QB
whole thing
gurus,
is,
these
yes,
geniuses.
my whole thing is I'm trying to get the best out of my players. And if I can do something to get the best out of my player that's at the most important position in sports, which is a quarterback, why wouldn't I do that?
Mm.
That's my whole thing. Like, why wouldn't I do something to make my quarterback better? If I know, okay, these are the plays that he runs well, and this is what he knows, I
Yeah.
would incorporate that shit into my playbook.
Oh yeah. I mean, what's the harm? If you know you can do it, why not do it? Are you not capable of adjusting your system? Is it too rigid? Are you too to change to adjust it to your talent? Do you think your system's too good for the talent? What are you, Chip Kelly?
Pretty much.
Fucking
This is how,
egos will get you destroyed.
yeah,
Pride
egos
comes before
egos
the
get
fall,
you
man.
fired.
Yeah.
Egos will get you
Yeah.
fired in the NFL.
That's what they say. Pride comes before the fall. That's what you're seeing. What you're seeing here, that's what you're seeing with the boy in Philly yelling at the fans. I don't care what the reasoning was. He needs to be focused on the damn team, not the damn fans.
Exactly.
That's another story. I mean,
Exactly.
without taking a huge cut, they can't cut Watson until 26 anyway. So the fans, y'all stuck with him for one more year. So you might as well adjust the fucking system to what he does well.
Terrible. I couldn't be a Cleveland Brown fan. I would be super duper pissed if that was my team.
Man, I would be swinging from a rope if I was a Cleveland Brown fan.
Yeah.
Like those.
Yeah. Terrible. Terrible. This is gonna be I feel like this is gonna be an ass whooping tomorrow. It should be an easy dub for Cincinnati, but we'll see.
Yeah, us being so adamant that it's Cincinnati means Cleveland's going to win.
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
What's the next game on the docket?
Ooh, Boulevard's game of the week. Burp, burp, burp. Houston at Green Bay.
Ooh.
Green Bay 2.5 over under 48.
48.
Mm-hmm.
So they gave a lower over under for this game versus the Falcons game.
Yep.
I think this game is going to have more scoring.
Yeah, it damn sure is. I mean, yeah. I don't even see why they think that. Yeah, but yeah.
Now this is the game that I'm looking forward to every year.
I hope it's the national game.
Like, this is a game I'm looking forward to. Every year or once every 4 years. Jordan Love versus CJ Stroud. I feel like we should get this game once a year. Two up and coming quarterbacks that play the quarterback position the way it's supposed to be played. The way it's supposed to be played, from the pocket. This is how quarterbacking is supposed to be played, from the pocket. This is what I want to see every year. Of course, you're starting Stroud. You're starting Love. We need to
The question
figure
is who you're not starting in this one.
Wicks.
How about, for my team's sake, Christian Watson? Because I'm starting him regardless, but I mean,
see, I want to see, like, outside of Jaden Reed, who I feel like Love has shown a lot of favor to. Like, out of the 4 games that Love has played, has it been 4, 3, 4, something like that?
Something like that.
He's shown a lot of favor to Jaden Reed.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to start Jaden Reed regardless. You kind of want to start Romeo Dubs. Not so sure about Christian Watson, but Christian Watson is one of those players. He's always one deep catch away from winning a league, winning a week for you.
Right.
Like, he's on that Rashid Shaheed, Jamison Williamson time.
Mm-hmm. That was the plan.
You got to start Jacobs. Yeah. From Houston, of course, you're starting Stride. You're starting Tank Dell. You're starting Diggs. And you're starting
Mixon? Is Mixon playing?
Yeah. Mixon's playing. You start Mixon.
Defenses for those people that do that. Green Bay.
I don't think I'm starting any defense from this game. Because I feel like both defenses can get styled on. So I'm not starting. I'm not starting no defense in this game.
Yeah, there's going to be some points in this one.
Yeah.
This is the Boulevard game of the week. Air horn sound. All right. Next game is.
I think the people know what you're cooking.
Right. Miami and Indianapolis. Tickets as low as $73.
This would be a perfect game for Flacco.
Yeah.
A perfect game for Flacco.
Yeah. For some reason. I don't understand.
I know the coaches. I don't want to say this, but I know the coaches in the back of their mind are thinking, I wish Anthony Richardson would just get hurt. I know that's what they're thinking.
Then there wouldn't be any reason to play him.
Right. I know that's what they're thinking. Because if he's 100% healthy, he can't lose his position due to injury.
Right.
He can't lose his position due to injury. But I feel like if the one person stepped in, played for you, and he played so well that it's impossible for us to go back to you, then I wouldn't want to go back to him.
Right.
Better luck next year.
There's no real reason to go back to him other than he's the guy you picked up in the draft. But I mean, if he ain't ready, he ain't ready.
He's not ready.
Let him sit till he's ready. What's like you're not actually getting lost. I mean, maybe it's some lost income or whatever return on an investment that you're getting, but the benefits in the long term should outweigh the short term return on interest. Let the man sit. Let him learn. Let him study the playbook. Let him learn how to operate at the pro level. He's clearly not ready
at all.
There's no reason to have him out there if he's not ready. Like, what are you doing? That's illogical.
I feel like there's nobody really startable in this game. Taylor's hurt. Michael Pittman's probably going to be hurt again. He's probably
he sits on my bench.
He's probably going to be hurt. Downs, I don't know. I had to start Downs in a couple of leagues. But I really
got a back injury. Yeah, he ain't playing.
Yeah.
You sit right there with a heating pad, Pittman.
Yeah. If Pittman doesn't start this game, it's probably gonna be. I'm probably gonna laugh the hardest laugh ever.
Hmm.
Um, I'm trying to think of who would I start on the other team. This is gonna be a difficult one. This is gonna be.
Are the receivers playing those two receivers, Hill and Waddle?
You
I
said,
haven't paid much attention since Tua went down. I haven't even paid attention to what's going on in Miami.
hey, Tua might be back next week. Just what the doctor ordered. Indianapolis defense is so bad that Hill and Achane could probably have a good game.
Yeah, A-Chain's been kind of letting me down lately.
I feel like Achane could run through this defense. So I may want to start Achane. Hill might be able to catch a bomb from Huntley because it looks like that's all Huntley was trying to do with Hill, was trying to throw him open. So we'll see.
Just
But
in the highlights,
you have to start Tyreek Hill, Waddle, and Achane. You have to because you don't want that production on your bench if they go off.
That's true.
But for next week, for sure, Tua comes back. Yeah. Now we back to business.
All right. Detroit at Minneapolis. Mini about 1.5 over under 50.
Detroit wins this game.
Yeah.
My prediction for this Sunday is no team will be undefeated after this Sunday.
Ooh. I did have projected the Vikings to lose, if I'm not mistaken, in my pick'em. We will see.
I feel like the Miami Dolphins will be popping champagne early.
R.I.P. Mercury Morris.
Yeah.
But in this game, that the year he passes would be the year that someone runs the table, though. But there's no way it's Minnesota.
Yeah.
Reality has to set in sometime.
Yeah. I feel like everybody that's startable in this game is who you're gonna start anyway.
Yeah.
So
AJ.
Yeah, you're gonna start Jess. You're gonna start Jettis. You're gonna start Addison.
Yeah.
You're gonna start Darnold because at this point you have to ride with Sam Darnold.
Yeah. It's gonna be a shootout.
Yeah. On Detroit side, you're gonna start Goff. You're gonna start both running backs. Gibbs and Montgomery. You're gonna start Amon-Ra St. Brown. You're gonna start Porter, Sam Laporta. You're gonna start Jameson. You're gonna start Jamo. You gotta start all these guys.
Yeah.
All these guys have a position, and all these guys have something going for them, and they're all of them are going to hit their marks. I just feel like Detroit is going to pull it out at the end.
I could see it. I mean, it's going to come down. This is going to be a close one. It's like you said earlier, it's a divisional matchup. They don't tend to be blowouts too often. It's always a battle in the fourth quarter.
It's definitely going to be a good one.
Yeah.
It's definitely going to be a good one. I'm definitely going to be all on red zone looking at that one.
I believe I picked Detroit to win that one in my pick.
What game was that's a 4:00 game?
We still in the 1 o'clocks. We got one more before the 4 o'clocks.
Okay.
Oh shit. Yeah, okay. I lost my train of thought on that one. It's all good. The next game is the Eagles Woo. Going to New York, Jersey, East Rutherford to face the Giants.
That's going to be a good one.
That's the saddest thing ever because it's true. It should be a stomping.
It should be a stomping.
Yeah.
But we didn't realize how good that Giants defense was going to be.
At least up front, yeah.
Yeah, that front four is something crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's something crazy. And we didn't realize how good Neighbors was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Neighbors has made Danny Dimes a better quarterback.
Yeah.
So, and it's like what Danny Dimes was doing with Malik Neighbors, it trickled down to when Neighbors got hurt. It trickled down, and then all of a sudden, he's doing that same thing with Slayton and Wandale. So it was Malik, and then Wandale, and then when Malik got hurt, Slayton. So you're telling me all this long time, you could have been doing the same thing with Slayton, feeding him all these targets.
Mm.
And you could have made him a fantasy viable wide receiver last year or the year before. It took you getting with Malik Neighbors and throwing him 20 targets a game, which you could have been doing with your other guys.
Right.
But better late than never.
This is true.
So I feel like you could get away with you can actually get away with playing Danny Dimes this season. Like I don't know where that came from. I don't know where that came from. But I feel like you can actually play Danny Dimes in 2 quarterback leagues.
Oh yeah.
That's crazy.
2 quarterback leagues, yeah, he's probably out there starting on somebody's team in the 2 quarterbacks. I mean, yeah. You got to go pretty down into the depths to get that in some of these leagues.
I feel like if the Giants don't blitz, Hurts could have a good game.
Like if you got a monster like me, for example, we draft 6 quarterbacks. But yeah. No, it's the rule now. I mean, I saw some stats that said he's been solid against the blitz. I've seen stats that said he's terrible against the blitz. I'm not sure which is which, but I know every defense is blitzing the hell out of him.
Yeah, I feel like if the Giants don't blitz and they just say, you know what, we can get home with our front four. If they don't blitz, Hurts could have a good game.
Yeah, he likes against when there's no blitz in a clean pocket, he lights it up.
Yeah.
I don't have the stats on it, but he lights it up. Like his percentage is like at least 10 points higher completion-wise. His yards per completion is like 4 to 6 points higher, yards higher. It's a huge leap.
Yeah.
You just got to keep him clean and protected. But the way the linemen are right now, because was it Mailata just went out? He's on IR now? Yeah, that's going to be an issue. I don't know for certain Lane Johnson's playing this week, so it's going to be an issue. He's going to be under pressure all game. It's quite feasible that you take the Giants in the upset this week, and I say that as an Eagles fan. But if you're looking at the damn line and all that, you can definitely take the Giants to win because there is a scenario them being at home where the Giants can win this game.
With divisional rivalry matchups, they always go 1-2 ways. Like, it's like you'd be expecting it to be one way because okay, this is the dominant team, but this is a team that they see twice a year.
Right.
So they really know that team. They really know that team. A lot of these teams spend the whole entire offseason game planning for their divisional opponents. So
that's
that's
6
why
games.
Yeah, that's why you can't be too sure of who's going to win divisional games.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, this is the foam roller. Great. I watch a lot of chiropractic videos, and I see my favorite chiropractor, Dr. Mondragon. She's always using that on her patients, and I was like, yo, I need to grab one of those because it looks like it works.
Man, I could use a walking on. My spine needs it. Shit. My back hurt.
She does that too. What's the next game on the dock? We're in the 4:00 games now.
We are now at the 4:00 games. We got Vegas going to LA to face the Rams. Wow. Vegas going back to LA. Oh man.
This should be an easy one for the Rams. This should be, if the Rams don't win this one, I don't want to hear nothing from Rams fans. This
shit gonna be like Shawn Michaels in Montreal a year after or some shit. Yeah, they're gonna boo the fuck out of the Raiders. Oh man.
The Raiders
gonna have their first home field advantage since they moved back.
The Raiders really ain't got nobody. So
no.
This should be an easy walk in the park for the Rams. And then, after the game, the Raiders are going to trade Max Crosby to the 49ers. So
Eagles.
They're going to trade him. They're going to trade him to the 49ers, pair Max Crosby with Nick Bosa and terrorize the league.
Oh. Yeah, no, Jalen Hurts, no.
If Cooper Kupp starts this week, you gotta play him. You gotta play him because you already know Matthew Stafford and Cooper Kupp. That's going to be a lot of points right there, and sometimes it's going to be league winning because Cooper Kupp's going to get about 16, 17 targets. So yeah, you start Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, you're right. What about some Vegas running backs? Who's the guy?
None of them. None of them. If I'm the Raiders, I'm just preparing myself. I'm trading off assets. I'm trading off assets because not only do I want a top quarterback next year, but I want a top running back next year because you have no weapons on your team at the running back position, at the wide receiver position. I mean, Tucker is decent. Maybe he'll probably be better if he had a better quarterback. Jacoby Myers, he's good. I like Jacoby Myers. He's a if you give him a lot of targets, like he's like a black Cooper Kupp. If you give him a lot of targets, he could do something with them. But other than that, like they really don't got nothing. They should be just trading off assets at this point. Because the guys that are good, they don't want to rebuild. They want to win now. And you can't provide them an environment to win now. So just trade off your assets and let them go to some places where they can win and just use that to rebuild your team because you do need a quarterback.
Right.
You do need a quarterback. That's first and foremost.
You ain't going nowhere without a quarterback.
Not at all. Not at all.
That's like that's the number one damn priority. You're gonna get all them other pieces, but you need a damn quarterback.
What's the next game on the docket?
Next game is Carolina at the Redskins. Washington by 9.5. Over under 51. Damn, Carolina, they ain't got no faith in you.
None.
Damn.
I'm taking over on that.
Right.
I'm taking over on that. I'm taking it over for the Skins. I'm taking the Skins to win by 10 plus.
Yeah, I can see that.
By 10 plus. Because Carolina has no defense. Skins don't have any defense either, but they got a little more defense than Carolina.
Yeah. I don't see this being a close game by any stretch.
No,
Washington going about to show off.
but you can start Jaden Daniels. You can start Scary Terry. Not sure you can start. Not sure you can start the Red Rifle, but I feel like you can start Deontay Johnson.
Right.
You may be able to start Leggett as well.
I mean, yeah, I say I agree, but to an extent, like, I mean, you're hopefully you're not having to start those players, but if you've got them and you don't have a better option out there matchup wise, yeah, I guess you have to. But yeah, I mean, hopefully you don't have to.
Since Andy Dalton has taken over, Deontay Johnson is a must start every week.
Still Carolina though. But yeah,
it's still Carolina.
But matter. Somebody's got to get those targets. So
yeah. He is cooking. He is cooking. Deontay Johnson is cooking, just like I knew he would. He's cooking. So yeah, he's a must start every week for me.
Fair enough. The next matchup is hopefully less garbage than that one will be. Oh, I guess it will. This is our 425 game. This is a game you might be invested in. Kansas City at San Francisco. The rematch.
Very interested in this game.
San Fran by 2, over under 46.5.
Oh, they got us favored.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that. I don't like that. I like being the underdog. I don't like us being favored. I don't understand how they got us favored. We just lost the Super Bowl to these guys.
Mm-hmm.
They're undefeated.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have Christian McCaffrey.
Mm-hmm.
We clearly have problems.
Y'all 500.
Yeah, like we're 500. Even though we just throttled Seattle, it doesn't matter to me. I don't understand how we're favored. I don't understand how we're favored.
Especially considering, day before and y'all, the line had to move at some point. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, and Jawan Jennings is not playing. Ricky Pearsall, this is his debut, so he's going to be getting the Jawan Jennings targets. I don't like that.
Take the over.
But
we'll take Kansas City to win. I'm sorry, but
I'm not taking Kansas City to win.
You can't.
I can't. I can't take Kansas City to win. And I did not pick Kansas City to win in my pick'ems either.
I mean, I also feel like San Fran has something to prove and is
going to
try to make a statement against Kansas City because they're San Fran's back.
I feel like if San Francisco does win this game, it's going to be because of Brock Purdy.
It'll be that energy in the fourth quarter when it's a close game.
And then I'm going to watch people do mental gymnastics on how to move on moving the goalposts for Brock Purdy. But you saw Brock Purdy this game. You saw Patrick Mahomes, even though Patrick Mahomes hasn't really done anything for fantasy football this year. You start Kelsey. You can actually start Juju. You can start Kareem Hunt. If you're in a pinch, you can start Ricky Pearsall, but you start Brandon Ayuk, you start Debo, you start Kittle.
Of course.
If Mason is playing, you start Mason. If Garendo is playing, you start Garendo.
So you're saying you start everybody on San Francisco, but he's biased as hell.
But I feel like even though, because I mean, if you have Jordan Mason, you probably can't afford to sit him. If you can't afford to sit him. But you probably at this point of the year, with all the injuries going on, you probably can't afford to sit him. And Jordan Mason is like the number 2 running back in the league right now. So
Mm-hmm.
you have to start him.
Yeah.
You have to start him. Like, even though he's going against a defense that can shut down the run, you still have to start him because there is an opportunity. There's a chance that he could crack that defense.
Mm.
There's a chance if you start him, he can crack that defense. All it takes is one play.
Yeah, that's true.
One play.
All it ever takes. One
All it
play.
takes is one play to win your week. So you start your studs. That's a rule of fantasy football. Regardless of the matchup, you start your studs.
This is
Jordan
true.
Mason is one of your studs. You have to start him.
Mm-hmm.
Even though the matchup says don't, you have to. Like, if Christian McCaffrey was sitting there, if Christian McCaffrey was in there, would you sit Christian McCaffrey?
You'd be fucking nuts.
Even though you know the matchup is bad, you don't sit Christian McCaffrey. So yeah, don't start your studs. Start your studs. Don't get cute. Don't get cute. We always tell coaches don't get cute. Don't get cute in fantasy football. Don't get cute because you will outthink yourself every time. What's the next game on the docket? Because I'm not picking a winner for that game, even though we all know who I'm going with. I'm not picking a winner.
This is this week's roundup. Just enjoy the suffering as the Jets go to Pittsburgh. They're a 2-point favorite, and the over-under is a whopping big-ass 39.5.
I don't think this is a pain and suffering game.
Mm.
Maybe if you're a Steelers fan. I think the Jets get right this week.
So you think? Yeah, I don't.
I think they get right this week.
I can't buy the hype on them.
They can't. They have no. Unless Rodgers is completely washed, they have no choice. With Devontae Adams, Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson, they have no choice but to get better. They got no choice. Like, I couldn't fuck that up. And Rodgers is an infinity times better than me at playing quarterback, and I couldn't fuck that up.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out the whole Nathaniel Hackett. Like I can't get past that. Nathaniel Hackett, Aaron Rodgers. I know it worked once upon a time, but I just can't. I can't see New York being just on the basis of them being the Jets. They will find a way to fuck this up.
They took the play calling duties away from Hackett for the Monday night game. So you could see the improvement in the team, because what happened? They got Breece Hall involved.
Well, that's just common sense.
Yeah, but for some reason Hackett couldn't hack it.
Yeah,
he couldn't figure it out to give Breece Hall the ball. He couldn't figure that out. They got Breece Hall the ball, and Rodgers actually had a decent game.
You saw how long it took Harbaugh to figure that out with Henry.
Right.
Sometimes these coaches can't get out their own way.
Right. So I feel like they're going to do the same thing again this week. But you know, they got Devontae Adams now. So
yeah,
either Devontae Adams is going to open up room for Breece Hall, or Breece Hall is going to open up room for Devontae Adams. Like, one of the two is going to happen. And I feel like if Aaron Rodgers isn't being a Karen, he will go the way he'll work his targets. Devontae first, Garrett Wilson second, Alan Lazard a distant third. Like, if he starts favoring Lazard over Garrett Wilson, he's just being a dick at this point.
Pittsburgh wins. Pittsburgh wins. They're not having a bunch of chaos and trying to operate under new management. No, Pittsburgh's been on the same damn train for a long time. They beat the teams that they're supposed to beat, and they don't beat the other ones. They tend to stay somewhere floating in the middle. I think the Jets will stay bad. Tomlin's a better coach than whoever's running it in New York this week. Ulbrich. They're gonna out scheme the hell and out coach the Jets. It's not going to be a matchup. Pittsburgh wins. Fantasy purposes, I don't know who the hell you start in Pittsburgh.
You might start Freiermuth.
Yeah.
Yeah, Russell Wilson is playing this week. He's starting this week. So I would start Freiermuth and Pickens, yeah. Yeah.
If you got Pickens, you probably starting him every week anyway.
Yeah.
Regardless.
Yeah.
He ain't getting the numbers, but you're still running him out there.
I feel like Russell will be more beneficial to Pickens than Fields was. So
yeah,
we'll see.
I mean, Russ should still be a better thrower than Fields was.
Yeah. We'll see. What's the next game on the docket?
Waiting all day for Monday night. Baltimore at Tampa Bay.
Woo!
Yes. 3.5.
What's the over-under on that?
49.5.
Woo!
Baltimore by 3.5.
Start everybody.
Yeah.
Start everybody. Put all systems go because the Ravens defense can't get got this year. So
will a Ravens fan knock out a Buccaneers fan? Stay tuned.
You start everybody. Ravens defense can get got this year. They're not the same as last year. Pass rushes is the same. They are pretty good against the run. So I'm not 100% sure you start Bucky or Rashad White, but the wide receivers, hell, you might even be able to get K-Dot and popping this week.
Don't see why not. I mean, I don't know statistically how tight ends fare against the Ravens, but hell, I mean, tight end's a tricky position this season. You can take rolls, take chances.
I feel like this is the week. Mark transforms into Mandrews. I feel like this is the week. This is the week he turns in. It's beef. This is the week he turns into that. What's the next game?
Chargers at Cardinals.
Chargers can't stop the run. You start J.K. Dobbins.
Yeah.
You start Ladd McConkey.
Yeah,
you can start Ladd McConkey because he's one of the better. I saw a stat the other day that says he's number one against man coverage in the NFL.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's a crazy stat.
Yeah, he's number one against man coverage in the NFL. And I forgot who number two was, but they say he was number one against man coverage. So
he's got 19 receptions.
They don't throw the ball like that.
Okay.
They don't throw the ball. They don't throw the ball like that. Like they haven't really been in games where they had to really throw the ball like that.
Yeah, I mean, he seems to get consistently around 7 targets a game. So yeah, you could do worse as your third receiver, your flex.
Hey, if you're in a deep league with a bunch of flex spots, Ladd McConkey's your man.
In deep leagues, he's already out there. Yeah, he's in 60% of leagues, so they starting to catch wind of him. Maybe.
Yeah. I feel like as the year goes along, they're gonna ramp him up. They got no choice because you're not gonna be able to feed J.K. Dobbins the ball 30 times a game.
No.
Arizona. I guess you start Kyler Murray, even though he's been disappointing.
And he's going to get worse.
Marvin Harrison, you start him.
Remember Kyler Murray got the bag, as he put it, from Call of Duty?
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. So, I don't know. That's a wait and see for me. See if he's still even paying attention to the game plan.
Right.
Or, they're trying to put together what kind of combinations of weapon packs he's going to use or whatever. I don't know. But if he'll look focused, you might want to look to trade his ass. That's all I'm saying.
Garfield.
Mm.
Garfield.
Got a couple of weeks before you can trade him if you start fucking up because of COD.
Right.
You want to pay attention to y'all who got him. People desperate out there.
Yeah. Trey McBride, you can start him.
Mm-hmm.
Connor Collins, start him. But I'm not expecting a lot from this game. Hopefully it's a good game, but I'm not expecting a lot from this game. Fantasy-wise, I'm not.
I ain't watching. I'm watching the Baltimore game, so I don't care.
Right.
I ain't going to see a second of that Arizona game till the fourth quarter if I'm still awake.
Right.
Shit.
But that
might
was
even be watching Monday Night Raw by then. Shit.
Not me. I don't watch Raw when football is on.
No, I do. I got it. It records, but
I love football too much. I love the game, but that was your starts and sets.
Yeah.
Now we're going to jump into these Q&As. We're going to try to help some people with some questions. As you can see, Garfield decided he wants to be on camera, but he wants to be a butthole and he wants to turn his back to the work to his adoring public. Oh, now you want to show face. This cat is funny. So what's the first question?
All right. Anonymous participant says, pick two. Harrison, Robinson, Marvin Harrison, Wandale Robinson, Jordan Anderson, or Amari Cooper. Which two do you play?
Cooper and who else?
Marv Harrison, Wandale Robinson, Jordan Addison.
I want to say Cooper and Wandale.
Against
And
Philly.
I'm only saying Wandale because Wandale is probably going to get the most targets out of that whole group.
Hey,
Wandale's
and Cooper.
Wandale's going to get at least 12 targets. At least 12 targets. So, yeah, I follow the targets.
Okay. Kirsty West, I'm not saying your real name. Kirsty says, Lad McConkey or Demario Douglas?
Demario Douglas.
I
feel like Demario Douglas is going to get more opportunity. More opportunity probably gets you a garbage time score.
Hey, that's something.
Look, I don't care how the 20 points come. I take 20 points.
Right. I get that. Okay. This person says, geez. All right. Mooney. Start one of Mooney, Demario Douglas, Josh Downs, George Pickens, or Rashad White. I'm leaning Rashad White.
Mooney. I'm starting Mooney because the rest of those guys have question marks, especially Downs. If Flacco was playing, I would probably go with Downs.
All right, what else we got? Njoku or Kelsey at tight end?
Kelsey. Only because he has a better quarterback, has a better rapport with his quarterback, and he's not coming off an injury. Njoku got hurt, came back in and got hurt again. I would hate to start that.
Right. Too much risk. Way
too much risk. Too much risk. You're risking getting a big fat O in your lineup versus getting with Kelsey, who even though he hasn't scored a touchdown this year, but if Kelsey gives you 7 catches for 80 yards, that's a good, decent week.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Give me Kelsey.
Purdy or Cousins this week?
Remind me who the Falcons are going against again?
Seattle.
I'm leaning towards Cousins.
Same.
I'm leaning towards Cousins because Purdy could easily find himself in a defensive struggle, much like the Super Bowl was.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I'm leaning towards Cousins.
Okay. Probably say this is the last one. Kareem Hunt, Chase Brown, or Aaron Jones this week?
Aaron Jones is hurt, right?
Let me check. See if he's not. That was a really stupid post on their part. Jones. They got a thing going on. He's questionable
Okay.
with a hamstring. He took Wednesday off, was limited on Thursday.
It's a hamstring.
Yeah,
I don't play with those.
He's likely to play, though.
Yeah, I don't play with hamstrings. What's the other players?
Chase Brown and Kareem Hunt.
Chase Brown.
Again, don't disagree. They're gonna have an easy match. Well, close thing to an easy matchup as possible for Cincinnati this week.
Yeah, I'm going with Chase Brown.
I mean, Cleveland's defense is solid, but no, not this.
It ain't been what it's been in the past.
I know. It's probably a morale thing.
Yeah.
No. You can see the writing on the wall. They know they got a bad offense, wearing them down, dragging them out. Yeah.
If that was your Q&A for the week, if you guys have any questions, roster questions, please get those to us and we will answer them on air. But for now, we're going to a very popular segment where we call our shot. Who's going to do what in the game tomorrow?
Call your shot.
Yeah.
That's what you're doing. So you're going, D?
Hey, call your shot.
All right. I'll call mine first, straight out the gate. Marvin Harrison, 8 receptions for 140 and a touchdown.
Whoo! Even Garfield
He
looked back at that.
and burning the shit out of somebody this week.
Boy, even Garfield looked back at that one, boy.
Them Chargers corners ain't gonna know what hit him this week.
I'm calling my shot on Amari Cooper. His first game with Josh Allen, and he's going to show you that Deshaun, I like it with baby oil Watson, was the problem. He's gonna get 7 catches, 92 yards, and a TD.
Ooh.
That's my shot.
Ooh.
But let's see who our resident guy with the most nicknames on the team. Let's see who he's calling his shot on this week.
Your word to my pops, do-rag straps. It's your boy, Young Krice the Jesus, a.k.a. Pimpy Long Stockings, a.k.a. He-Man Haymakers, a.k.a. The Riz, because I'm rawsome, and I'm calling my shot on Aaron Rodgers this week, you heard? The Jets are playing a great defense this week, but my son Rodgers is going to have 313 yards and 2+ TDs. Word to mother, son. The Jets are going to get stole and styled on like.
Oh, you mad because I'm styling on you. You gotta have better gear and quit styling on me. Listen, plus the cowl is on me. So act up and you'll fucking have to lay down.
But don't mind me. I just be talking shit.
Where do you find these people? It's a walk-in shop cheese, man. Shop jeans and Timberland boots.
That was our Call Your Shot segment. And now for the most popular segment on the show.
Yes.
This guy right here, him, let you know who the kicker of the week is going to be.
This is what I've been waiting for all week.
So without further ado, Garfield, take it away.
And now, Garfield's Kicker of the Week.
As I sit here thinking about chicken and wanting some, it dawns on me there's a kicker in the league from the Dolphins named Colonel Sanders. So that's my kicker this week, Colonel Sanders.
That's Jason Sanders.
Whatever.
And that was Garfield's Kicker of the Week.
Whatever. I want some chicken.
And the funny thing about it was, we actually did have KFC today.
Hell yeah. Man, we try to order KFC every once in a while, but they be running out of chicken.
How do you run out of chicken?
That's consistently. Like 4 or 5 days a week, they run out of chicken.
How do you run out of chicken around black
I
people?
don't know. Oh, well, that's not even a factor in this. If you think about it,
you're in Vermont.
Yeah.
It ain't a lot of us up there.
No, I mean, there's more than there used to be, but no, there ain't a lot. We're still like 1% of the population up here.
Terrible.
Yeah, KFC literally right there ain't got no damn food. Run out of food every day.
It could never happen in Baltimore. You
Right.
can't run out of chicken in Baltimore. We will riot. Okay.
My water in for mashed potatoes and gravy.
Right. We will riot in Baltimore.
Give me my damn egg and cheese. Shit. Needs that. Needs my biscuits.
With the greens.
I used to not even rock with it, but man.
And season them greens.
Mm-hmm.
Don't give them to me plain because I get mad. Season them greens.
Right, you know better. Who
All
raised
right.
you?
We're about to hit y'all with the sleeper segment. Don't be expecting a lot. We're in week 7. If you haven't picked up these players that we've been talking about at this point, you probably slept and you lost. This is why we call them sleepers, because if you sleep on them, you're gonna lose.
Mm-hmm.
Sleeper Plays of the Week.
All right, so do we really want to pick up Goodson?
Goodson. Who is Goodson, honestly?
For Indianapolis, because the Trey Sermon experiment has not gone well, and JT is out for another week.
Who are they rolling out there with? Are they still running Sermon out there? Because I mean, if it's not going to work, then it's just not going to work. Do it elsewhere.
I feel like you got to run Goodson at this point. He's 14% old. You got to run Goodson at this point. If you're that desperate, for a running back this week, if you lost JT or you got a guy on bye, pause. you got a player on bye. Goodson is a decent at best play. Last week he had 8 rushes for 51 yards, caught 4 or 5 targets for 14 yards. But here's the thing. He's probably not going to have Flacco throwing him the ball. So shoot your shot. Your shot. Hunter Henry, 30% old. 30% old. Caught 3 or 5 targets last week for 41 yards and a TD. Going to be Drake May's safety valve. If you need a tight end and you're not expecting a lot, why not?
Okay.
We already talked about Drake May. Are we looking to roster Sean Tucker?
Sean Tucker's a wide receiver where?
No, he's a running back
Where?
for Tampa Bay.
I have no idea who this guy is.
Yeah, he was supposed to be nice last year, but Rashad White took that job last year. So now they're talking about, we're gonna go hot hand. We're gonna go hot hand, and I hate hearing that phrase hot hand when we're talking about running backs.
Right.
Because running backs are the lifeblood of fantasy football. So if you can't tell us who is going to get the lion's share of the carries, I kind of wipe my whole hands of that whole situation. I don't want Rashad White. I don't want Bucky Irvin, nor do I want Sean Tucker. But if you're desperate, Sean Tucker's 19% owned.
All right. Multiple things to consider. It's the Monday night game. So, there's no choice in the matter if you go with this guy.
Yeah.
So, and plus you're going to be holding out till the last game. And who knows? Yeah. So that can fuck you over in the end. Because you'll need 6 points from the guy and he can just get fuck all and end up with 2. Because they are playing the Ravens defense. These are factors you want to consider who he's lining up on. Mm-hmm. It's not the Saints. It's not the declining Saints. It's the Ravens. So I would probably not look at Tucker, even though he did have a solid week last week, because Baltimore's run defense is solid. So I would, I wouldn't play Tucker. He's a no-go on my book. But I could see as a sleeper, absolutely. That's what you're looking for. Because I say he couldn't, but at the same time, it only took him 14 touches last week. So
right.
It takes one play, like you said earlier, one breakout play. Now you got an extra 30, 40 yards on your damn stat sheet. That makes a difference in fantasy football.
Especially if it is a 40-yarder, because
that's points.
In every league, if your league doesn't give bonus points for 40-yarders, you don't need to be playing in that league.
Right.
That's trash. That is trash. 40-yarders should be celebrated because it doesn't happen all the time.
Right.
Xavier Legette, what are we doing? He's 19% owned. What are we doing? He had one bad week under Andy Dalton, and now he's only 19% owned.
Fans are flaky. We fickle.
Flaky. No, man.
Prove me now.
Xavier Legette on your teams and leave him there. Even if you just put him on your bench until brighter days. He did score last week.
Oh.
He caught four targets. He had 4 targets. He caught 3 of them for 23 yards and a touchdown. So he scored last week. Yeah, you definitely want to keep Legette around. You have any sleepers?
I'm sitting there looking for a second one, and I think I lost.
Okay, you're gonna give us Kobe Parkins.
Of course him. But I was gonna say Garendo.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's if they want to play clock control, they're not going to do it with just Mason. And it's the kind of game you might want to control the clock and hog the ball. So I can see them going early and often to the ground, running it a lot to keep the ball away from Mahomes. In that case, you want Garendo as the second option. Yeah, it's just logical.
Yeah.
She can easily get you, let's see, about how many targets per se? He got 10 last week. Who's to say he can't get 10 this week, especially if he's effective with them? So, yeah, Garendo, wouldn't say can't miss, but that's what sleepers are. They're not quite can't misses, but, you need them to win. You need them to be successful.
Agreed. You got
maybe Michael
else?
Wilson? Maybe Michael Wilson. I mean, he scored last week. His targets are hit and miss, but I mean, some weeks he can get you as many as 9. Some weeks he can get you 2 to 4. But in this matchup, no, he's going to be available for a big game. And he's coming off his injury. He had an ankle injury, but he'll be playing this week. So run him out there against the Chargers.
Okay.
Yeah, that's Michael Wilson, 17% owned.
I got him in every dynasty league. I picked him up.
I don't blame him. That's a good long-term play.
Yeah, definitely a good long-term play because once him and Marvin Harrison gets on page with Kyler Murray in non-Call of Duty season, they should start getting with teams. As long as they don't do that against the 49ers, we good. We good. You got anything else?
I would specifically say not Justice Hill because he's going backwards statistically. So
yeah,
you might want to. If you're looking at him as Henry's accoutrement, his handcuff, you might want to look at other options.
Yeah, because we don't know because Justice Hill is only effective in games where Lamar has to throw a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So if the Ravens aren't down, I don't see Justice Hill being that much of a factor.
Right. So don't look at him as some sleeper because it's not this week.
Nah.
Not this week.
Nah. I almost want to say likely could be one.
Ooh.
But we don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know.
That's one some of us will be hoping for, though. I mean, we need something like week 1 from him.
Yeah.
He's been let down since then.
Yeah, and I feel like they're going to start going back. They're going to start going back to Mandrews.
Mm-hmm.
So likely, I don't think Lamar could sustain 3 targets, like three weapons.
Right.
So it's going to be Zay Flowers and somebody else. Like those are the only 2 that's going to get a lot of targets. So I feel like it's going to be Zay Flowers and Mandrews.
Right. I like that.
Yeah.
It's got to be one of them. Somebody's got to get them receptions, them targets.
Somebody's got to get them. Somebody's got to get them. Right. But that was our sleeper segment for this week 7. Mm-hmm. Hopefully you guys take something from it, and hopefully one of these guys hit for y'all. But for now, Fantasy Football Avengers, we are out. Get y'all ready for these games. We're getting ready for these games. We are gonna sit around and enjoy a nice, wholesome day of football. Go 49ers.
Yeah, go Birds. Fly Eagles fly.
Peace.
Thank you for watching the Fantasy Football Adventures podcast. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to follow us on social media. Links in the description.
And I just got one thing to say. Any fantasy football player that want to be a champion and don't want to worry about the podcast as being all in the videos, all kinds of wrong, hot taking, watch the Fantasy Football Adventures.